Let's run it, boys.
All
Okay, I'm
right.
cool with let's run it, boys. So welcome to the TNG podcast, or the Nickla Group Podcast. My name is Alex Nickla, and I'm here with
Mitch Roadruck.
And the point of this show is to hopefully bring some value to people in the region, talk about what's happening in the region. We are both born and raised, right? Born and raised. Where are you from?
Lowell. Good old Lowell, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Crown Point. We're here at our office in Crown Point. And the point of this is, like I said, we want to make this something that people from the region can tune into to learn about just what's happening, give our take on what's happening in Northwest Indiana. And obviously, our business is real estate. So we're going to talk a little bit about real estate every once in a while, talk about what's going on with markets and real estate markets, finance, things like that. But for the most part, just talking about what is happening in the region. And hopefully people, you guys take a liking to it. If you find any sort of news or anything you feel worth talking about in the future, we're going to make this better. Hopefully get a way for you guys to call in, go live, things like that. But for now, we're just going to talk about what's going on and find different news stories of things that are happening in the area, new developments, positive things going on, and discuss it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I guess if you do find value in this, be sure to share it out with your friends. And if you have something that maybe a business venture that you're pursuing or that you find interest in, DM us, either one of us.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to get a DM and
Yeah.
talk about that in a future podcast before we get the call-in feature worked out.
And that's definitely something we want to do too, is bringing in local people who are doing cool things. So originally we were just going to interview people that were local, but we also felt like it was important for us to just talk about what's happening around the area, not just interview local people. So it's going to be a combo of that, talking about news and what's going on in the region, but also cool people, like people in the region doing cool stuff.
Yeah,
whether that's
absolutely.
Someone who's got a nonprofit, someone who is a business owner, somebody who is doing something good for the community. Mm-hmm. We want to hear about those people. So if you guys know anybody like that, bring it to us. We want to sit down with these people. This is all new to us, so bear with us on the mechanicals of it all. But we're gonna make it work. So anything else?
No, I think we're all good.
No, we're good, right? We are live. So
we got to talk about our man Noah.
Oh yeah, Noah's running the show back there. You guys will get to know Noah.
Yes, sir.
The 2 downloads we get on this first episode. So anyway, we're gonna start with a couple things, couple news stories for today. We got a couple topics to run into. First is the St. John Riverfront District.
Yeah.
Which is a funny name for it. Because I don't remember a river in St. John.
When I was reading the article, I was trying to place this river geographically in my head. And I was like, I think we got 2 Tree Creeks in St. John, but
and when they said it was over by 41, I'm like, I'm lost on where a river's at.
Yeah, they're like, it's by the shrine. I was like,
never seen one.
No, like that area is screaming for irrigation. Water.
Then we got next one is Indiana Dunes. What's going on with the dunes and the charging of fees? That's been a big one. A lot of people are talking about right now, so we want to get a little bit onto that.
Hot topic.
And next in Crown Point, University of Chicago building a new hospital, micro hospital they refer to it as, but it's 120,000 square feet of a micro hospital.
Yeah.
Which is big news for Northwest Indiana, honestly.
That's right.
And then last would be Lake County Corn Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. So let's start with the Riverfront District. So the way we're going to go about this is essentially I'll give you guys a short rundown of some of these stories, and then we'll hop into the topic, and then you guys, again, hopefully get this live and people can start to hop on a chat. And at some point, Noah's going to be able to see that chat and say, hey, so-and-so saying this. We'll be able to see the chat too. We can have our computers in front of us and hop on that and comment back to people talking. But so it'll be interactive in the future. So first one here, we've got this is a Northwest Indiana Times story. A stretch of vacant land on the south side of St. John could be filled with restaurants if the town is able to obtain a Riverfront District designation. So that riverfront they're referring to is when they went down to Indy, and so we'll go about that a little bit. But I think it's part of the name and what they're trying to get, that Riverfront District designation. The proposed Riverfront District would stretch from 109th Avenue, so 231, to 96th Avenue, St. John's main commercial district. Town Council Mike Aurelio explained the Schilling development. So Schilling, which really that's good.
They do good work.
They haven't done us wrong.
Yeah, they got a good track record.
Schilling Development owns the majority of the unoccupied land in the district, about 25 acres on the west side of 41. So basically where that shrine's at, down to 109th up to 96th. Let's see. Envision a nice draw that includes several restaurants, outdoor dining, banquet hall, and even a boutique hotel. Jack Slager from Schilling Development said the development would be cohesive with the nearby Shrine of Christ's Passion, and the restaurants and the hotel could draw shrine visitors. However, nothing can be set in stone until the town receives more liquor licenses. The number of licenses of which municipality is determined by the state based on population. So basically, it looks like they're going down, and some of those liquor licenses as high as $500,000. So, so what they did, it looks like they went downstate, right?
Yeah.
They went down to Indy. And because of the price tag of those licenses, went down to Indy to create this Riverfront District, would allow for more local restaurants, new businesses, and topped with some office space. Give me your thoughts on this right now. I'm going to find some other important parts of this and throw it in there.
So my immediate thoughts on it is that's, sweet. It's awesome if they can accomplish that. The bottleneck being the liquor licenses.
Right.
Like you can build up the coolest, riverfront area. Fort Wayne is working on a very cool riverfront district with kind of mixed-use buildings, retail, a little bit of restaurants. But what they have that St. John doesn't have is the liquor license.
Right.
I think that poses a pretty interesting opportunity for people who currently have a liquor license in St. John. There's enough people that have a liquor license and want to get out of the restaurant business. That's kind of a cool, angle there. But my thoughts are, if I have a liquor license, and even if I want to get out of the restaurant industry, if I own that restaurant, I would rather sell it with a liquor license attached to it as opposed to selling the liquor license and then selling the building next. Like, you're just gonna.
And I believe that's what happened with the Chop House.
Really?
Because the Chop House, I know that they sold, to Schilling there. And I'm pretty confident they had a liquor license there because they had a bar and everything.
Yeah.
What my initial thoughts of it are, because it's always funny to see the response from people on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, but at the same time, I think it's important to take into account when you think of St. John, it's really just cornfields with beautiful houses.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole bunch. I mean, you have 41 where you go shopping. I think what was cool when they talk about in the article is that St. John and what Schilling is trying to do. First off, you look at the developments in Northwest Indiana that Schilling has done. There's really nothing Schilling's done that I don't think anybody should have an issue with it. Yeah,
they don't miss.
And so the fact that Schilling is doing it, number one, I think says a lot. Number two, they're talking about like people's concerned with it being like another strip mall, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Schilling is looking to do anything like that. And that's what, you know what I mean? So what they said and what's, Slager said in here was it's going to be special. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I feel like St. John needs it, right?
Yeah.
They need something that's going to be a little bit different. I like how they talked about it's not going to be large chain restaurants or things like that. It's going to be local business owners, local people who want to bring something special to the area. And I think St. John needs it. Again, like when you look at St. John, you have the highest priced residential home sale area in Northwest Indiana and one of the highest in the state of Indiana. But what do you do in St. John?
You drive to Cherville.
You go up to Cherville and Highland
you drive
on 41.
To Crown Point.
Yeah, you go to downtown Crown Point. So if they could throw something there and put some nice properties there, I mean, and some nice things, retail spaces, shopping, restaurants for people to do. The riverfront thing is funny to joke about, right? Because it's hilarious watching people like, oh, this must be the river they're talking about.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I think it's great for St. John especially because of who's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's a question. So these liquor licenses are granted by the state on like a per capita basis based on the population of the town. So does this, create an opening for somebody to come in and put in a bunch of pretty much develop a couple cornfields and raise the population of St. John?
Get more licenses?
It would probably lower the cost per square foot if somebody came in and built a bunch of, quote unquote, cookie cutter homes is what some people call them.
Right.
I think there's a big demand for those types of homes.
Yeah.
And we can get more into that when we talk about real estate some other time. But that is one way to raise the population and then go downstate and say, hey, look at our population now. Look at the current census. We deserve X amount more liquor license.
And even in St. John, St. John's done a good job of protecting the quote unquote cookie cutters.
Yes.
Right? If you look at
even
the subdivisions that, people perceive Althoff as one of those builders, which in my opinion, they're not.
No.
But if you look at the nicest Althoff development is in St. John.
Yeah.
And it's right over by I'm trying to think. I think it's right off of 93rd. But they're beautiful homes. They're $500,000 plus houses, and they're all off. So I think St. John's done a good job of protecting that. So no, I think it's a good point. Next, big one, Indiana Dunes and what's going on at the Dunes. So
they're gouging
the
people.
Dunes, the Dunes. So this is a NWI Times story. Visitors will soon be expected to pay if they plan to picnic at the 15,000-acre national park, sun on one of its Lake Michigan beaches, or hike. Yeah, sun on one of its Lake Michigan beaches, or hike its more than 50 miles of trails. After becoming a national park in 2019, the Dunes have seen a surge in visitors and are now looking to impose a fee of $15 per person or $25 a family. Funds will be used for maintenance, visitor services, and improvements. National Park Service, for instance, would like to restore the historic Bailey Cemetery and replace the boardwalk and trail service on the Little Calumet River Trail. It still needs funds to replace many of the old Indiana Dunes Natural Lakeshore signs, new national park ones, and at the Sprawn, LaPorte and Lake counties, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Okay, but critics have raised concerns about whether the new fees, including the $45 for the annual membership, would be sold at visitor centers and so on. So overall, thoughts? People are pretty angry about this and what's going on. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that everybody can rally behind the Dunes and say that they want to see it protected. I think that's pretty generally accepted as like everybody would like to see the Dunes maintained, right?
Yes. I
think the way you do that is with financial support. And I think raising the prices of admissions makes sense. I also see, it's not lost on me, the fact that like maybe $15 per person is a little salty for some residents by the Dunes. Could we work out something, you know, if you live in a certain proximity of the area,
right?
Do you get a different rate? Is that too hard to enforce? You know, there's a
people
lot of questions, right?
With it. Yeah, people are going to be, I live here, and
how
do you prove that?
Yeah, exactly. Could there be some kind of, like, I look at this as like a capitalist, and it's like, could there be some type of private events held in some of the facilities in the Dunes that would ultimately raise enough money to keep the cost of admission down? Like if you invited all of, you know, a bunch of business owners in the area to like a gala at the Dunes, like a nice fancy dinner, would that pay for
raise some money?
Would that money raised mitigate the need to raise the admissions?
Yeah, I think one of the because clearly, like what you're saying, right, preserving the Dunes is huge for Northwest Indiana. Because you look at the Dunes, man, and it is, I mean, when you go there, it really, for Northwest Indiana, it is special. And you've got everything happening around, you know, you've got all the industry and everything up by Chicago. It's like two different worlds.
Yeah.
Right. And so I agree with you on the preservation of the Dunes. I think looking further into it, it looks like there's a large percentage of national parks who do charge some sort of fee.
Yes.
But the Indiana Dunes new fees are on the high side of that. Like there's some parks you go to and it's $2, it's $4 versus 15 is pretty steep when you get to somebody that, you know, that for them, $15 is a lot of money. For some people, $15 or $25 for their family, that's a lot if you want to consistently go. The other side of it is if you go often, the $45 went from $49 to $45 for an annual. Like the annual deal is a good deal. You know, it's still $45. So I'm with you on it. I agree. It's got to be preserved. I think based on what I learned, it seems like their fee's pretty high. So there's, as long as the money is going to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, is the money actually going to taking care of those things? Well, then if you're going to pay that much, some things have got to happen if we're on the high side of the cost here. But I'm for it when it comes to, you know, preserving the land and preserving the area, of course. But it is a lot for someone that, you know, $15 or $25 take their family. It's a good expense. If you go the annual route, it's awesome. I mean, you go the annual route, you go whenever you want, $45. That's a good deal.
Makes sense.
That's a good deal. So when you look at it from someone someone thinking about, all right, we're going to go twice this year. Well, then you just pay the family thing, pay $50. But if you're going to go all the time, you pay the $45 and it's probably a better deal. But from people who've been here their whole lives and they've never paid a thing, right? So there's some big parts to it. I could see both sides of it, but I would love to see the Dunes taken care of. And I love the idea, like you just said, can you put something together, fundraising, certain things, certain local businesses that could come together in Lake and Porter County and put some stuff together to raise some money for the lakeshore people who love it. You know, I don't know. It's tough for people that, you know, maybe lower income families, that it's hard on $25 to go to the family. And I get that. But in general, I think it's good to have some sort of fee to take care of the park in the area. It's on the higher side. So I could see it going from $0 forever to $25 you want to come with your family. It's a lot. So
it definitely needs money.
Yes, it needs money.
Every organization needs money. Yeah. But how are you acquiring that?
Right.
I definitely think that there is a solution, and I haven't put enough thought into it to really speak to it. But there is a solution outside of raising the entrance fee.
I think there's some other ways to raise some money. I wonder, what are those operating expenses? What does it cost them to do what they're trying to do? Yeah. And are there local businesses that would see that and say, hey, we can come together and fundraise some money for this to reduce some of that cost? Something I would be interested in doing something like that.
Absolutely. And imagine if they sold off like the naming rights to that boardwalk.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know,
great
this
idea.
is the Alex Nickla boardwalk.
Yeah, like a Franciscan or something like that would probably come and pay a lot for something like that, and maybe that could offset some of those initial upfront things they want to do. And then after that, then you got to figure out, well, what's the annual management from there? You know, again, you got to look at it from the business perspective, and I get it. For the average person, it's like, I've never paid a thing, and now it's going to be this much. But the annual membership's the way to go. It seems like just get the annual,
it makes sense,
and get use out of it. Yeah, I see both sides. Third story is going to be, I think this is pretty cool. And again, being here in Crown Point, our office here, this is a big one. University of Chicago Medicine seeking approval for the build of a specialty care center and cancer center in Crown Point. It's an NWI Times story. Chicago Medicine, so University of Chicago, reveals plans to build a 116,000 square foot facility at 109th and 65, where it would provide specialty care in areas including cancer, cardiology, digestive diseases, neurology, neurosurgery, orthopedics, pediatrics, transplant medicine, and women's health. Project details were made public at Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, during which board gave favorable recommendation for special use variance in the Beacon Hill development. This project has been years in the making. They say it's going to be a 46-acre campus. It will sit near I-65 and 109th interchange, and it will expected to create 150 jobs and see 110,000 patients annually. 150 high-paying jobs. It's a very important market for us, they said. Said an executive from University of Chicago told the board. She noted that 15% of Northwest Indiana residents currently seek medical care outside of the area. 21% of those go to University of Chicago. So 10% of Chicago Medicine employees live in Northwest Indiana. So they got 10% of their company there. They got 15% of people from the region going out there, so they see a need for it, and where they're putting it is awesome. So Crown Point loved it. They thought it was a great idea. They gave the use variance for them. Plan is to start in stages and grow it over time, and there's a whole bunch more here. Thoughts on that?
I love it. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win. University of Chicago is going to be able to service this market. That's great for the residents that unfortunately need cancer treatment and all the different services that they offer, that you'll have something in much closer proximity to you. I love that. I think that it's great from a real estate perspective, because it's going to bring a lot of jobs here. Yeah. What follows jobs?
Right. Housing.
Yeah, housing. Right.
In quality.
Yeah.
Quality jobs. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it for a lot of reasons. I mean, first off, the location of it. There's so much that's happening at that corridor of 109th and 65, and there's a lot of things in the works right now, from the land development of what's going on there. Some new office spaces that are absolutely phenomenal. I know some people putting some incredible spaces over there. There's a lot of great commercial real estate that is going in there, which is when you look at Northwest Indiana, what does it lack? It lacks commercial real estate, things to do. Right? Yes. Places to go, things to do. And so when you take University of Chicago comes here and says, hey, we're going to dump millions of dollars into this area. And think about it too. When you think of Illinois, people from Illinois who are moving here, and our experience has been great. I mean, everyone that we talk to from Illinois, people say, keep them in Illinois. And I see the perspective, because our area is our area. But at the same time, when you build a great area that is a great place to live, people are going to want to come
build
here.
They
will come, right? So, and that's the truth. What do you expect? Then don't live somewhere that's a great place to live, right? Yeah. So people are going to come here when they hear There's a University of Chicago in Crown Point, Indiana.
Yeah.
That's only going to attract higher quality people that want to live in a great place. So plus everything that's going to happen around it. When people from Illinois that are considering the move to North, and again, obviously this is a biased answer because, that directly affects our business. But at the same time, it's great quality care at one of the highest levels of standard for the health, from that perspective, and in the healthcare industry. It's phenomenal in so many ways, and what's going to come around that for, again, the other commercial real estate is great, but the opportunities for people to get top world-class healthcare right here and not have to go to Chicago.
Who can say no to that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. And 46 acres of land, I mean, that's a massive campus.
It's a micro facility.
They call it a micro facility.
Don't kid yourself there, Captain.
Micro. I don't know, man. I got a lot of I think it's awesome.
I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. I think that it brings a lot of good to the region. And I would be curious to see what somebody's objection to that would be. I can't foresee anybody saying well, that sucks.
Listen, the only thing I would rather have on that corridor right there is a Topgolf, but I don't think that's happening.
Oh, man.
So I've been saying for years, 109th and 65, freaking Topgolf.
That's an incredible Topgolf facility. You haven't said it to me.
You're right. I haven't told you that.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
Humble.
Last, let's finish up with a fun one. Good old Lake County Corn Dogs, Crown Point's newest baseball team. This is a Region News Source story. Newest addition to the Northern League has officially been announced as Lake County Corn Dogs. The team will be based in Crown Point, will compete at the Legacy Fields at Center Ross Park. Its new motto will be building community through baseball, and the combination of local and out-of-town talent will make up its roster. The name Lake County Corn Dogs was chosen. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we'll get that logo up there.
Yeah.
Was chosen by the public after a naming competition was held late last year. That's even funnier. Crown Point is an ideal location for it. South Lake County, Northern League Baseball, blah, blah, blah.
Do they have a head coach yet?
You want in?
No, I want him on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be so much fun.
That's a good call. Lake County Corn Dogs will begin competing during the summer 2022 season. Thoughts?
I love it.
I
think, I have almost a 1-year-old boy. I think that the idea of having somewhere right here to take him to hang out as he gets older, that's super cool, you know? And I think for the residents in this area, they would probably agree that that's going to be a cool summertime activity.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It beckons back to when you talk about people that want to move here, their number one objection is what am I going to do?
Things to do. Yep.
What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. It's small. It's not like we're getting a major league baseball team, but it's something. It's a start.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. When I lived out in Fort Wayne for a long time, and they had the Tin Caps, and that was their baseball team, and that was a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just like in South Bend,
the Cubs,
South Bend Cubs,
yeah.
Right? And now, that's an affiliate with the Chicago Cubs, which is obviously a little bit different of a level. But I think it's awesome. I know so many people that, from being in a baseball background, so many guys that want to play ball at a certain level, and to have something right here in Northwest Indiana that they could, obviously we got the Railcats, which I know some people play for the Railcats, and then, but to do something here too, you got another option, and like you said, something to do with the family. Pretty cool. It's just a cool option, and the fact that they named it the friggin' Corn Dogs.
Yeah, I mean we can't sweep that under the rug. That's a strong statement they're making.
Signature corn dogs.
Signature. They better have a damn good corn dog.
If they have a bad corn dog,
they're liars.
Frauds.
Completely frauds.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy them all Enron shirts if they have bad corn dogs.
Well, there you go. There's our first episode. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Again, any stories that you guys want to throw at us, hit us. Anyone you think would be cool to hop on to have these types of conversations about what's going on in the region. We'd love to talk to you all further. Hopefully, this is informative. Would love your feedback. Love your thoughts on any of the stories. And throw us any stories. Throw us any people you think would be good. Appreciate you watching the TNG podcast. We'll see you guys later. Take care.